Hello, people who are still here. I really get more into Steel Division competitive play, and I figured out that need to really play much more before I can really finish the guide I have on the Steam. By the way, if you don't know about it, I have a guide on the Steam, which is kinda aimed for uh, strategies and basic tactics. It's less about tips and those kind of stuff. So it's quite unique guide, and I think especially opening segment of the guide about overall strategies in the map are really good, and even better players could use that information. But I feel like I am still uh, too much beginner to really finish it because my knowledge of the game and knowledge of specific mechanics is still not that great enough, so it will probably take some time before I finish the guide. But I finally joined some sort of group which do more competitive play in the Steel Division, and this guy Eugene is actually one who kinda introduced me to it. He is one of the best players in 1v1. Um, I think you could actually see him in some of Vulcan videos. I definitely feel like heard his name there. So, and it was interesting match, especially because even if we here was really on a higher level than me, I still manage to kind of secure a lot of territory in A phase, and I almost win A phase, but then he turned it around and just show me who boss is. So let's see how it goes. So he playing a Rommel division armored, and I playing second infantry division. I gonna stop it here and maybe explain strengths and weaknesses of each division. So my division firstly has really strong phase A infantry. It has good long range capability and pretty good air, but then it's very weak against artillery and armored vehicles. It's not exactly division for aggressive play, especially not for it's relatively mobile compared to infantry division because you get uh, B phase command with track which stay on the battlefield, so you actually can have much more mobile infantry in this infantry division, but it's just basic Shermans and C phase Wolverine, so it's not exactly that great. I wouldn't say that Romels division is really in advantage on this map, but I would say it's easier to play here because it's a lot of long range, lot of mobility, and these super probably best half tracks in the game are really good to use in this kind of environment. Just 10 points, you know. So I feel like if I secure this factory at beginning of the game, even if he rolls out all his long range armor in B and C phase, I will be if I secure this factory, I can hide here Wolverines and AT guns, and he cannot really push anywhere because I can if he push here, I can basically fire from two position here and here, If he push here, and I have secured this, I also flank him, and if he push straight to here, I have better infantry, so I should be able to win that fight. And this is pretty good defensive position because there is a lot of open ground, so it's quite easy to defend it. But it's also it's if enemy manage to cut you off, it's also easy to surround it if you let it to happen. So okay, let's start and see how it goes. On right, I sending some basic long range defense, and I want to send some infantry here because I want to use my strong A phase infantry. On left, I ran out of points, so I'm sending just one MY and one gun, and definitely biggest fight will gonna go in this factory. He coming here with rocket launcher vehicles to support it, but I feel like I don't want. Like, he's better player, so I don't want to say it's a bad choice, but I just feel like he don't have enough infantry to challenge my free range supports. On the right side, his vehicles engaging, but my defense proving pretty effective, and I getting into this forest. Using his rocket launcher vehicle, but it just I feel like it wasn't the right time. But right now it's pretty much secured. And I feel like that the rocket launcher vehicle would make much more damage here, but this is not really priority. But this defense is definitely nicely done. This 80 gun overwatch basically both sides of this forest, so they cannot sneak up on me. But he managed to push me out from the factory. I don't want to lose my edgy support, so I retreat them. Right now I just lose 3 men, so that's pretty good. And this both are definitely helping me out. I'm bringing my M1 gun to support, and Sherman DD, because if you're fighting this kind of environment, you really need to have some light tank to deal with fire support. This is not like tank, but it will do the job too. You just need to be really careful with it. Okay, so I stabilize I didn't secure it with infantry enough. I just rushed these DDs to hunt down his RT, and no, they just get taken out by these long range packs. It was just big mistake. Yeah, this was really a big mistake. I just overextended, and now in retrospect I really should push here. I have recon here. I could relatively safely push it here, and I could see that probably there is uh, not much opposition here. I could get this down and have pretty good defensive position. Yeah, if I get this town, he would not be able to kick me out of there. But my other DD got destroyed. Sorry for missing it out, but it was by one of these things, and I don't really have any comment on it. It was just bad micro. And on the right side, situation is still stable, but I definitely miss good opportunity for recon if I send, because if you see something like this, and here you have a lot of good cover, sending recon there should be really priority. I could scout this whole area quite safely, and if I now do some really good push here, I would just take this whole side of the map. That would be really amazing, but at this point I was like, oh damn it, I lose my tanks, and I was having trouble to stabilize this, because I didn't want let them push me out of this part of the town, factory I mean, because he has I think Sturm Pioneers, and if he get his Sturm Pioneers here, it will be really hard for me to reclaim town. But as I said, I really should focus on some surprise attack here. If I have my recon better, I could maybe see the opportunity, but I just no, it was just too much pressure playing against such good player. But no, surprisingly, right now I am winning. I have 400 points here, just 61, but you know, it just don't look good for me. And this is, I feel like, one of the biggest problem, uh, which mistakes people do. And I do very often. You just let yourself uh, get into the fight which are you losing. That kind of moment, it's really better to change your strategy. And what I probably should do is really try to preserve my units here, uh, maybe even retreat them here and try to push here, and I could really get my 80 guns into position where I could snipe them from the angle by this kind of uh, by his armored force here engaging here. In that way I probably could get some side shots, and definitely make him a little bit hesitant to push. But he also building his force on the right, so this doesn't look good for me, because I was kinda ignoring the right side. And when I static like this for a long time, enemies get very confident, and you probably don't have forces there to able to deal with it. But he get his pioneers into the town, which is, they are not good as flamethrowers, but you getting another infantry squad. They are more versatile. You save a lot of slots if you taking pioneers, so that's also good choice. But now I really struggling that this DD is not in the town. I should just fast move it here. But at this point I have just too much losses, and he's just right on top of me. And I bring lightning, and that's not a bad choice in that kind of situation, but really firstly needs to something which your lightning will support. You shouldn't bring support before your main force. I also bring DD on the right side, which probably not the best idea because he has a long range 80 guns, which would be in this situation much more useful. If I were aggressive enough and put it somewhere here, maybe it could work. But right now his 80 this S407 packs will gonna deal with it very easily. But despite that, I'm managing to hold for a little bit longer. But without any kind of flank, I just letting him to have all these fire supports. No chance. Yeah, this DD is totally in bad position. And at this point I just bleeding so much resources when enemy has that big of such big force compared to yours. It's really hard to do anything with it, especially when you're not in a favorable position. If I have this kind of secured and I'll still have some good position here, I could probably still do something about it. And if I put a better defense here instead of this DD, even with such heavy losses, there is still things you can do. But at this point, with him having more units, more ground, better ground, I still lead in the points, but I actually have still a +1 advantage. But it's not really deserved. Especially here, if he push here, he will take. He can push me. Well, basically, he can totally penetrate these defenses. So that's not really good. Biggest mistake was that I just engaged this blob of units directly, and now I kinda continue doing this. I sending another DD. By the way, this DD is still alive, but when you have this kind of tanks, you cannot engage them or just rush them into the enemy units too. How would I say that? For example, I could use this mortar here smork some very important roads, send my rifles, and then push DDs and try to engage them with like three vehicles just driving from this behind this forest and engaging all of his stuff by they engaging my infantry in the town. You know, that kind of things could work, but I was just not able to pull it off. And right now all of my most important infantry in the city got destroyed, so no chance here. I actually probably should retreat this kind of thing much sooner. And also my static defense on the right got destroyed. And at this point I don't really know. I was having really much fun in this match, so I was kept going, but at this point I just don't see any reason to continue to comment on it, because there is nothing I could do to turn it around unless he don't reverse all his unit and march it towards me. You know, when you just look at the map. And he also has much better unit composition. You know, DDs are not bad, but they are not built for this kind of frontal engagement. Okay, I'm probably gonna cut it off into the end of the match. Okay, we are almost on the end of the match, and you know, it wasn't anything interesting. You know, I managed to hold line a little bit. I managed to inflict some losses, but as you can see, it's just the situation didn't change. So that was definitely interesting match. And you know, I will see you in another video. Bye guys.